That's the right button. Yes, it is. Hello, good evening, and welcome to Final Boss Fight. My name is Jeff, and tonight I'm very excited because we're starting a new series on the channel, Monster of the Week, which I've never played before. So this is a first time for me. Also a first time because our good friend Richard, over there, is being GM for the first time on the channel.
Yes, looking forward to it.
Also joining us tonight are Stanza, One-Winged Angel, and Sarah.
Hi.
So, without further ado, Richard, it is over to you.
Okay. So for those who don't know, Monster of the Week, so one of the Powered by the Apocalypse system games. It's loads of fun. It's quite rules light. You only need 2d6 to play. And if you've ever watched something like Buffy or Supernatural or X-Files, you'll get what's going on pretty quick. So our party of hunters play various archetypes, and we'll go through them in 1 second and just introduce them all to each other. So, Jeff, do you want to go first introducing your character?
Yes, I am playing Joe Lancer, the Gumshoe. It was a dark night in the city, and I realised that it's been too long without a case, and my mind is starting to somewhat go blunt, like a pencil that's been scribbled over too much paper. Time to get out there and find a new case.
Brilliant. And then we have Stanza.
I am playing Euphariel, the Divine, so on a mission to fight the schemes of an adversary. In appearance, it's like there's some glamour so that the average passerby doesn't notice that this is a biblically accurate angel, rings and wings, in a trench coat with like shades, scarf, and a hat perched on top where a head should be.
Yep. Completely inconspicuous. And then Robin.
Yes, so I'm Vitas the Monstrous.
You're a bit quiet there, Robin. I don't know if that's me. Try again.
Is that any better at all? Or?
It's for me, yep.
Yeah. So I am Vitas the Monstrous. I'm basically look like a small man, quite round, quite like big build, fat, beady little eyes, but I've always got kind of slightly vacant look on my face.
So, Robin, being a monstrous, you are half monster or you're zombie, yes.
Yeah, zombie.
And then if we go to Sarah.
So I'm playing Gracie Gunlet. I am the Flake, but I prefer to think of myself as a theory supremacist. Everything is a cover-up. Everything you have ever heard is covering up something else. If you've heard a conspiracy theory, that's the cover-up for the real theory that's going on beneath it. The internet forums are they're interesting and everything, but they've always got it wrong. Absolutely always.
Yeah. Now, each of these different types have certain abilities. As you can imagine, a gumshoe is very different to a divine in what they can do, but they're all, more or less level in the mechanics of the game of, capability. But yes, if everyone's ready. Oh no, I've got to do a couple more things. I just remembered. Right, so if everyone could do their historical relationship with the other characters, which is a fun feature in Monster of the Week, where you say how you know your character knows another character. So this time we'll go with Sarah first.
Okay, so Joe is an old friend of mine, and we met through a long string of coincidences. Those coincidences were normally that he was the police officer on duty when something was going down. You might call that coincidences. Certainly seems to be the way it's going for me. Euphariel, the signs all point to us working together. So I went out and found them, and now we do work together. And finally, Fighters is tied into it all. Absolutely 100%, and someone needs to keep an eye on him, and that person is me.
Okay, Biters.
So, for Joe, I lost control one time and almost killed them. It says here to ask them how they stopped you.
So Joe, how did you stop Biters doing something really bad?
I tried to appeal. I believe I tried to appeal to whatever shreds of humanity remained in him. Like, kind of talked him down from it a bit.
Casey saved me from another hunter who's what happened there?
I managed to reason with that hunter. That hunter is someone that I know through other internet forums, through other groups that I've come into contact with. I made them see reason. They wanted to absolutely kill you, but you have a reason for being here. We need to stick with that reason.
Luthariel is tied to my curse of origin. They saw me getting attacked by a zombie to go into fear. But by the time they did,
Robin, your voice went very low then as well. I think it's a technical thing. Yes,
the laptop just a bit closer.
That's him. Yeah.
Did you actually get what I heard there? Said there, or
I mean, yes, but I think because I knew it already, it sort of made sense. But it was they were there when you were getting turned into a zombie. Is that right? Yeah. And so then we'll go to Joe.
So, I remember things slightly differently. Eupharial, one of my cases was something unnatural in it, and I'd heard about this Eupharial person, and I'd heard they would be able to help me with this case, so I approached them for help. Gracie, I caught committing a crime, but I let her go because the evidence just didn't stack up. It was obviously she was being set up by somebody else, probably one of the people in the subject of a conspiracy theories. And Biters reminds me of an old partner who was murdered. That's why I tried to reach him when he was trying to kill me.
And Euphorial, is that how am I saying that right? Euphorial?
I made it up. I've just been going for Eupharial.
Euphorial, right.
Shall I go for role playing with the filter on?
Entirely up to you.
Joe, you are the one I go to for advice and understanding of mortal things. Whereas Gracie, they should not be involved in this situation. The prophecies don't mention you at all. I don't know what it means yet, but this gets my attention. Fighters, zombies, are abominations that must be destroyed. However, most of the time, he seems like a mere innocent human to be protected.
Okay. Right. The last thing we need to do is we select 2 ratings for each character, and this is how you mark up your experience. Okay, so your ratings are, it's cool, charm, those sort of things. So I'm going to pick one for all of you. Weird. So when you use your weird skill, and if it doesn't work, you get a bad roll. You're going to mark up on your experience, and then when you get enough points, you'll level up. And you guys can all pick one for yourselves for what you think might be a useful skill, or one that leans into your character and what. You don't need to tell me or anything, but just know that if you have if I say if you've picked like for weird, if I say, oh, make a weird roll, you roll, you fail, you do get a point of experience. Okay, right.
I mean, I've not encountered this before, so I'm not sure I understand.
Well, it's for the because we're playing over multiple sessions, so you might level up. Basically, it's there should be a bit on your character sheet where it talks about experience.
It talks about leveling up.
Give me 1 second there. Okay, so on the first bit where it's got your name and then the divine, in the first column, if you scroll down, it's got luck, harm, experience.
Mhm.
Okay, where it says experience, should be 5 boxes.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So basically, if I ask you to make a weird roll, and
Oh, I thought you meant that there was a decision to make.
no.
Okay, it's just a thing to keep in mind. Gotcha.
So every time we fail a roll on that, we tick one of those boxes. Is that right?
Yes, and also you pick a stat for yourselves as well.
Yeah.
Like I've picked weird.
So it's only with one stat that this happens with.
No, you pick one as well. So I've picked weird, so you can pick charm, cool, sharp, or tough. Whatever you think is appropriate. I can pick fear as well again for you if you'd prefer.
So
So,
the specific stat that you get XP for if you roll low, is that what we're doing?
Yes.
Yeah.
So basically, it's like if you
Okay.
fail your check, your roll, you get a point in the experience thing.
Okay. I'm happy for you to pick.
Tough, because I think an angel's quite tough.
And when we get enough experience, does it have to go into one of those skills, or can it go into whatever?
Oh, I'm not 100% sure, but it'll be happening in the next session. You'll get them. So,
Okay.
From what I've seen- from what I've seen-
yeah.
there's a chart on the second page of the sheet that has like all the level up options you can have.
Yeah.
yes,
Okay.
there's various skills in it. Okay.
Yeah.
So,
Okay, I just wanted.
no, of course not. Right. So here we go. The 4 of you in your odd party were in Seattle killing some vampires, grunge vampires, because this game is set in the best period of time of all time, the mid-90s. It's just the best. So yep, you were up there in Seattle killing some grunge vampires. And when that was all wrapped up, you anonymously received a postcard referring to the town of Westholme, and on the back of the postcard, it was drawing your attention to 5 murders that have happened in the past year. Basically, it has the names of the victims and then murdered written next to them. And this is sort of things happened before where you get these anonymous tips. So you guys are thinking we should probably be heading off to Westholme.
It's difficult for Gracie because there's still a lot of unfinished work in Seattle. Like, there's this big coffee company that needs looking into. It's got a siren as its logo. What's that about?
Yeah.
And also, there's this weird hospital, right, that just keeps sort of getting weirder and weirder things happen in it. And yeah, it just keeps merging with other hospitals. And like the doctors, they never die, really.
And they're very attractive. Like
They are
suspiciously,
stunningly beautiful people.
suspiciously attractive.
And I would like you all to know that Richard's partner, Charlie, will be so proud of me for getting that in there.
Well, I'm not though, so watch out.
I know you're not, but she will be. I might text her and tell her.
Now, this would be the very moment for your beginning of the mystery research or use of your abilities, if that's what you want to use right now.
Euphariel goes to the nearest roof and screams at the sun to use their boss from beyond ability.
Okay, is that where you get information on the mystery, or is it orders specifically?
Both.
Both.
I mean, like I'll roll it and then read what it says for the roll.
Yeah, good idea.
Okay, that's a 7. So on a 7 to 9, your superiors ask you to do something complicated or difficult, and you get to ask them one of the questions from the investigator mystery move right now.
Okay.
Investigator mystery. Okay. Maybe. Maybe it. Oh. What?
What manner of creature are we hunting?
Are you happy for the response to go to the whole group, or do you want me to message you?
I'm happy to make it public. Yeah.
Like roleplay terms, it would just be you, but obviously the other
probably
players.
is unlikely to hide it.
The answer you get back, it says, it's complicated, but perhaps more than one. But one of them is a demon. And the thing you are asked to do is, above all else, kill the demon.
I mean, I was gonna say I bagged you eating the demon, so.
Well, that's a happy coincidence that what the sun wanted you to do was the same as what you wanted.
Yay!
Joe, did you have an ability you wanted to use?
Don't think I have any start abilities. The abilities I have. The first time I observe a monster, I've got some personal contacts I can use, and I long goodbye ability, so I've got nothing for starting.
Biters or Gracie?
Nope, got nothing.
No, I've not got anything.
Well, I know that you've got talk to your internet friends, haven't you, Gracie?
Yeah. But it's when I contact them to help do something, so like they can hack the computer or get any special information and stuff like that. It's not.
Now, if anyone does want to do any general research, it's not your abilities. You just want to say, I want to look something up. Now is also the time.
I think Biters would just be in the corner, kind of gnawing on a bone.
Of course.
As long as it's not one of my bones. I've still got the teeth marks on my leg from last time.
Biters kind of looks up and starts sniffing towards Joe's leg.
So is it?
Species is that bone from?
That face says it all, really.
Biters thinking, is that?
Not me. So did you say we can do some investigation now, or is that still to come?
No. If obviously there's very little You've got names, a place, and the word murdered. So if you want to look in a dictionary for the definition of that word.
No. Could I look to see? Oh, I'm going to use one of my abilities. Could I? So I've got my 4 contacts who I've just come up with: criminal, street, academic, journalist, and occult. Could I contact a journalist friend to see if there's been anything in the news about these murders?
Yep. So, are you calling them on the telephone?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. So,
one investigating mysteries. So I've got this right. Investigating mystery. Roll sharp. That's 2 plus 1. So this is a +3. +3. If I read this right. Looking through it for confirmation. I got a 12.
A 12?
9 on the dice, +1 for the contact, +2 for my sharp.
That's okay. So it should tell you what to do on a 12.
On a 10 plus, on a 12.
Now.
So On a 10 plus, hold 2, so I can ask 2 questions. On a 12 plus, no, on a 12 plus, I may ask the question, keep it any question I want about the mystery. So,
And I
Venus,
will say you've spoke to your angel friend who's told you
yeah,
the business about
told us
her.
about this here. Yeah, I get on the phone there. Venus, is that you, doll? Place called Westholm. There's been 5 murders there, somewhat unusual. Do you know anything about that? Do you know any names or any possible causes of death?
Oh,
Gunshot?
give me 1 second there, Joe. And she goes off, and you know those old weird things you see in the X-Files where they're scanning through papers.
Yeah.
That seem from a different century. Well, it was a different century now. And she comes back and she goes, Westholm, 5 murders, you say?
Yeah, that's what my sources say.
Well, might be 5 in the last year, but I've got I don't know, 8, 9, 10 very peculiar deaths and murders and all kinds of odd goings on there, going back at least to the 40s.
And they were never solved.
Well, I mean, reading between the lines as a journalist, it sounds like some of these solutions have just been put on, animal attacks as the old standard, a wolf, cougar, got someone. But these look really weird. I mean, the earliest one is the Mayberry Massacre, and that seems like gunshots and very, very mysterious. But yeah, I mean, are you going there?
Some new information has come up. It sounds like it might be worth investigating. I'll let you know if I find anything.
Okay. Well, don't die. Okay.
I was going to say Gracie wants to go if there's a library that she has access to, and just see if she can find out any sort of book about sort of mythical stuff that could be going on. That sort of historically anything weird and wonderful, any sightings of UFOs, weird and random traditions, anything like that.
Okay, well, that sounds like
Demons. An excellent approach.
so yeah, that sounds like investigate a mystery. So if you could roll 2d6. So what was that?
Do I get to add anything? Is that plus sharp?
Investigate, yeah.
Yes. So I get a grand total.
Sorry, I missed that, Gracie.
I got 5.
5. Oh, you get a book on UFOs in California, Westholm's in California. But even you are thinking this is none of this is all just made up, this stuff. So yeah, not very useful at all.
No. I
Is
do
this
get
the cover-up?
experience
The
for that
cover-up.
book. Yeah, exactly. This book is not reputable.
Yeah, this might
At
be
least
the
I
one
didn't-
book where you're like, this is just an idiot. This is just
Yeah.
someone who doesn't know what they're talking about.
Yeah. I mean, it's better than I did think I was going to get a book about the wrong Westerholm. So at least it's progress on that. At least it was the right state.
Are we all ready to head off to California?
I think so, yeah. We're piling into the station wagon that I've got.
You've got. I was next. Does anyone have a car? And evidently, yes, you have a station wagon. Does anyone else have a mode of transportation?
Nope.
I mean,
Well,
I
you're-
imagine you Fario's just going to be hitchhiking with Joe.
Yeah, jump in the car.
Yeah, I don't think it would make anyone walk as long as there was seats. Yes, you get in the station wagon and you head down the
Can I just say
west
that
coast.
one of the seats in the back is somewhat gnawed and tooth marks everywhere.
Yeah. Yep.
Biter gets put in that set. Biter gets put in that seat. Jolly Ranchers, they take ages to eat.
So yes, you drive. It takes quite a few hours to get from Seattle to California. It's a long journey. But as you arrive at the city of West Home, you have one of those traditional big billboards, at the city, saying "Welcome to West Home, California's best kept secret." And it has a population number which would correspond with an average sized city in California in the mid 90s. As well as founded in 1921. And there's a sunny picture on the billboard, making it look all lovely and modern and very welcoming.
What is the
Billboard's
actual weather?
Oh, it's very pleasant. It's nice. It's not as awfully hot as California gets sometimes. It's nice. So I'd say it's like September time. Like now.
The billboard shone down like a too bright bulb in a darkened room. So am I saying that? Am I saying that out loud again?
I'm sure there is a mental disorder of people who do that, like when they've had brain damage and they lose the ability to.
Yeah, Joe's like internal monologue is not internal monologue.
He's also about like 50 years out of date from like when this manner of speaking in hat.
I don't know what you're talking about. My 8mm camera, my tape recorder, they're top of their latest technology.
Yeah. So you head into West Home, and it is a typically sort of boring American city. It seems quite pleasant. Could be a nice place to live. What do you guys want to do?
Although it let me down last time, the first thing I want to do is go to the library.
Okay.
Because they are bound to have copies of local press that I could go and have a look through to find some stuff out about the murders.
Okay. Is everyone going to head to the library with Gracie?
I think so. Might be worth looking through some paper articles.
Don't be as scared to split the party as you might be in some other RPG.
Splitting the party is always a terrible idea. In that case, I'm going to head to the police station. Try and get some information there.
Titus is going to follow Joe.
Is that to do with the business of the case, or you just want to eat him when you get the opportunity?
Decided yet. I will help keep an eye on biters.
Okay, so
obviously all the horrible stuff is going to happen at the library now because we've all left Gracie alone there.
The terrible library massacre.
Yeah.
So
West Home 6 murders.
So Gracie is going to head to the library. I'm assuming Joe will drop her off after you establish where it is.
Mm-hmm.
You ask a friendly-looking local who directs you to the library, and you find this very nice, quite large library. And Gracie gets out the car, and station wagon drives off. So Gracie, what are you doing?
I'm going to go in, and I'm going to go and see if there is a friendly librarian I can talk to.
So what does Gracie look like right now?
So Gracie is to a certain degree the grunge vampires will rate up her street because she's wearing dark black jeans, a black knitted jumper which has got a hole where she's pushed her thumb through it, and she's got sort of long black hair tied back in a ponytail. She doesn't look as much of a nutter as she actually is.
She looks a bit more.
She looks a little bit normal, but still not. Yeah. All the black and the stuff is a little bit weird, especially in California.
Yeah, it will get hot.
Yeah.
I know. As I once wore a black velvet jacket in LA, and nearly got heat stroke.
That's what you get for wearing velvet.
So yes, you go into the library, and there is a kindly lady behind sort of a reception desk, but she is more of a librarian type, and she's just stamping some books with a stamp, and looks at as you come in. He goes, "Oh, can I help you, dearie?" That's very English. Can I help you? What do Americans say?
Laugh. No, that's British. Too.
That's British.
Oh, we're in California, aren't we?
Sweetie? I don't know.
Yeah.
Sweetie.
Sweetie. I really hope you can. I've just got into town, but I wanted to have
welcome to town.
Oh, thank you. I wondered if you had any information. I'd heard that there's been some murders around here recently. In the last year, 5 of them.
Well, I mean, deaths. There's been many deaths, but
sorry, 5 suspicious deaths.
I mean, I know the ones you're talking about. Yes, there was a bit of.
Do you have any sort of newspaper cuttings about these I could have a little look at, or can you tell me what happened yourself?
Oh, I mean, it was just some unfortunate business. I mean, are you a journalist?
You could say that. I look for patterns in things.
Okay, make a charm roll.
It's a 10.
A 10. Ooh. And she sort of says, "Oh, well, we're always happy to help people here." And she said, "We actually, our local paper did cover this quite a lot." And she directs you to, and at this point, it's not even being like archived. It's just on a shelf, and she flips through various issues and finds about 12 different newspapers of the same newspaper, but 12 different issues that detail stuff about these deaths. And so these are the ones that are relevant. There might be some other ones where mentioned, but this is probably the main stuff you want.
Oh, thank you. That's really helpful. I'll sit and have a little read through of them. Is there anything that stands out particularly to you with them? What do you remember about them happening? How did you feel as a local person living here?
Well, I mean, we have been an unlucky town at times. As we do seem to have, a few accidents. But there's a lot of especially when the city was built, it was very wild area. So I even used to get bears. But so like I mean, Dr. Costello, he was by. I'm looking at the wrong name. Ignore that. I mean, Randall Jackson's death was the. I mean, that it was a murder. No doubt about. But it's like something like an Agatha Christie or insert American author of relevant fiction. Where like he was murdered in his house, but like all the doors were locked from inside. Nothing was broken, like as in like no one got out of the way, and then the police had to knock the door down when he didn't turn up to work, and it's like locked room mystery, like how this guy die, and he was like beaten to death. It was awful.
I mean, it sounds absolutely terrible for the poor man, but these kind of cases, they're absolutely fascinating. Out of character, I have an ability that I know if someone is lying to me.
Mm-hmm.
Is there anything that she's been obviously lying to me about?
I wouldn't say lying. she's clearly like in no sort of supernatural or weird way, but like doesn't like talking about this. These, some of these people were people she knew, but she's more or less being honest with you, like, and there's some things where like she might even be lying to herself a little bit because she can't face the truth of it, but nothing too weird or dishonest.
Well, thank you, ma'am. You've been most helpful. I won't keep you away from your work. I do appreciate your help.
Oh, you're welcome. Is there anything else we can do for you? Just let us know. We're a friendly town.
I'm glad to hear it.
Yes, and she goes back to her desk and goes back to stamping books, which is my understanding is what that job solely consists of. Okay, so you do you want to spend some time like going through these papers?
Yep.
So I suppose again, investigate a mystery.
7.
7. So was that 7? Did you say, Sarah?
No, it's an 8. So 5 plus 1 plus 2.
Okay. And I think that gets you can ask one question from the investigate a mystery questions. So that's what happened here, what sort of creature is it, what can it do, what can hurt it, where did it go, what was it going to do, what is being concealed here.
I'm going to go for what sort of creature is it?
Okay, so as you go through these various reports, and some of them do say something along the lines of, no foul play suspected, just, a terrible accident or maybe wild animal. You do get the sense of some sort of like frenzied killer, something that's just sometimes people have been torn to bits, beaten to death. No weapons ever seem to have been used. There's also like no physical evidence of any sort. No blood from the attacker, no fingerprints, nothing like that. So you expect this is some, if not a wild animal, because it's not an animal, but like something that would approximate something that had like animal strength and possibly big claws, big teeth, something like that.
Okay. Are they all written by the same journalist?
They are indeed. They are all written by Ellen Rustig, who is also the editor of the paper. But because it's not a terribly big city with a lot of news, she, will investigate stories as well as being the editor. Is that you done in the library, Gracie?
That is me done for the time being, yes.
Okay. So the trio of Gumshoe, Zombie, and Divine Being will go up to the police station. Now, a lot of your cases, you're in like small towns where you get these like mad sheriffs who think they can do, what they want because there's like 4 law enforcement officers in the whole county and they're in charge. But this is more like a standard police force, more professional, perhaps better trained, more akin to like using the big resources at their disposal. So you turn up to this very modern building. You all heading in together?
I guess so. Yep.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm just following along.
Cool.
So Joe, are you in sort of standard Philip Marlowe gumshoe attire of like?
Oh yeah, like long trench coat, similar to Farah's actually. In fact, Farah's probably wearing one of my old trench coats, I'd say. But long trench coat, fedora, yep.
Yep.
Going in.
Biters? I know you said you just look a bit overweight and a bit
Casual clothes.
very casual
I don't
clothes.
fit. at all.
They don't fit. They don't fit at all.
Too small.
Okay, and our divine friend here. How do you appear to the casual passerby?
I mean, it's like what I described before. So like big trench coats, so like maybe a fedora. Maybe I don't know. I'm happy for Joe to advise me on the hat that is on top with the shades and scarf.
So if someone was to look at you, would they see
Alright.
bright rings of? I'm assuming.
No. It would be like it would be a trench coat, a person wearing a trench coat.
Like it would be like very generic, just like some
You
unflattering.
can't
Guessable,
really make
yeah.
out any.
Yeah,
details
like
about
if someone
it,
asked you
but
in
that's
10 minutes,
perfectly
you'd be like,
normal.
yeah, they were like a person in a trench coat. Yeah. Okay. So there is an officer behind a desk at the front, and you can see on her like little, name plaque things they have, and her name is Officer Jennings. She seems quite a young officer.
Okay. I will approach Officer Jennings and say, "Afternoon, ma'am. Name's Joe Lancer. I've just arrived in town. I hear there's been some deaths in strange circumstances. One of the relatives of the deceased has contacted me to hired me to find out what's happened.
Which relative was that?
And I'm just like going to pluck a name out of my mind.
I can give you, because you do know the names. I can give you them.
Yeah, give me. Let's have some names of these. Yeah.
Okay. Patrick Summers.
Okay.
Chloe Hudson. And Samantha Price, because they were killed at the same time.
Yep.
Randall Jackson. And Louise Chan.
I'm going to say, the Miss Hudson's uncle contacted me saying she hadn't been in contact for a while. He was quite worried about her. He said that he'd last been seen here and he'd read about those deaths in the paper, and he hired me to come investigate. And these are my two associates, Mr. Biters, and Ms. Eufario.
At this
So,
Biters looks up and kind of says, "Can I eat this one?"
No. If you had to forget, please forgive him. He's been hungry. We haven't eaten since we left some town in between California and here.
okay.
Yeah, so
This is an odd team.
You'll be surprised. It's done me well, and any information about Miss Hudson or any of the others would be you'll be doing me a great service, doll.
Officer Jennings, please.
Sorry, ma'am. Officer Jennings.
Well, we can't just give information out to private investigators, I'm assuming. We can't just give information out about a case.
Of course, I fully understand that. There any service I can do for you in return? Maybe if I can get to the bottom of some of these, may help you find folks out. May look good for you in the papers.
You make a charm roll.
I got an 8 in charm. I rolled an 8.
Okay. And she says, do you have a lot of experience in matters like this?
I have some experience of unusual circumstances. My companion here, pointing to Eufario, is definitely someone who you want on your side when it's facing unnatural. And my companion Biters here, he's proven himself good in this scrap. So I think between us, we're well equipped.
Chewing on the leg of the desk.
Sir, I'm gonna have to ask you to stay behind the line on the floor there.
Spiders, spiders.
I
Not yet,
tell-
biters,
please
not
tell-
yet.
I could shoot him right now for crossing that line. So please.
Of course. Forgive us.
And she says when you use the word unnatural, it sort of like caught her attention. Why did you say unnatural?
I've heard that these murders, especially Miss Hudson, there was something not quite right about some sort of wild animal, but no wild animal could have done this. Something unusual, something that can't be explained easily.
Sorry, I'm just getting a delivery. Thank you. Get a drink. Unusual, yeah. I mean, Mr. Jackson, and she's lowering her voice and sort of there's a bit of conspiratorial leaning in. That was particularly weird. That one, just because it didn't seem possible. I mean, it's a fairly standard murder, but I've no idea how the killer got out. I was there when we knocked the door down.
It was a locked room. It was locked.
Were you seeing something there, Farrell?
Oh,
I mean, I was preparing to ask something.
I mean,
of course, yeah,
you certainly.
yeah.
where did this occur?
And Officer Jen sort of pauses for a moment, and she sort of touches her head as if she's got like a headache, but she can't understand like what's going on exactly. And she says, "Oh well, she was Mr. Jackson's house. I mean, this is not sharing anything that wasn't reported. It's on Eldon Street, and the police tape's still up, so you'll see it. But yeah, just he was in his house, all the doors locked from the inside, chain on. Nothing like if the guy had been shot, we'd have said it was suicide, just because there would be no other explanation. But he was like beaten to death. It was very violent. He couldn't have done that to himself. We searched the house from top to bottom. There's no, I don't know, hidden doors or anything like that.
Might be worth a look. Thanks, Officer Jennings. Any details for the others, or are they the trail gone cold?
Well, Miss Hudson and Miss Price have been put down to an animal attack. They were on a hiking trail, and they certainly something attacked them like an animal. Louise Chan was found in the sewer. We don't know whether she was killed elsewhere then brought there, or kidnapped, but that was sort of more typical, horrible, but not, unexplainable. And Mr. Summers was found dead in his car with his throat ripped out. It was quite gruesome, but again, no real evidence.
Okay. Well, obviously, I think Jackson would be our best lead. Thanks, Officer Jennings. If I come up with any new evidence, I'll be sure to turn it in. If you excuse me, I'm going to
At which point, an older officer comes over, and you can see he's got, a fancier badge. And this is the chief of the police, Will Nelson. Officer Jennings, who are these individuals? And she sort of gives the names, and he's got a cup of coffee in his hand, and he looks at each of you, and what brings you to Westholme? You're clearly not from the area.
And I give the same story about we've been hired to look into the death of Chloe Hudson by her uncle, thinking that's lead on one maybe. Same story I just banter off.
Well, I'd recommend you leave this matter to the proper authorities.
Of course. I don't mean to tread on any toes. I just want to set this young lady's uncle at rest.
I see. And what was the uncle's name? He takes out like his notebook and a pen.
Uncle Anthony Chambers.
Anthony Chambers. He makes a note of that. And do you have a contact number for him?
He didn't leave me one, I'm afraid. He left me a forwarding address. When I go back to California, he'll be able to leave me a number there.
I see. And his eyes narrow a little. Is that all the business you have in the station?
That is. We were just leaving. Come on,
That's
companions. That's like
Biters is in there,
leading
just walking
bites
into the air.
leading biters
Trying
away.
to get towards the air.
Not yet. Not yet. Maybe later.
Wait, so did you approach the chief?
Yeah, to get. Oh, I'm starting to give him a sniff.
As you get near
Oh
to
no!
him, he grabs like a nightstick and really does that thing where he throws you up against the wall and like pins you there with a nightstick.
Oh dear!
And he says,
No.
"What's your problem, son?"
I have to forgive him. He's Are you going to try and say something?
I was going to say I just start kind of gnashing my teeth.
You'll have to forgive him. He was in a fight recently. He hasn't quite recovered from the concussion.
Desist, fighters.
You're making it worse. Stop.
I'd say if Joe can make a charm roll, but this is going to have to be incredibly good.
We're running good so far. What could possibly go wrong? 10.
10. Oh, that's pretty good. Pretty good. And he says, "Sir, do you realize how many laws you've just broken by attacking me?"
Biters is trying to break free.
Sir, calm down. Officer Jennings, he tells his tase him, and he steps back, and then you get tased. and you go down. Take one harm.
Oh dear! I think this is time for us to leave. So if we can, if we have the opportunity, I'm going to just try and drag him out by his feet.
Like, there's a small ring. One of you throws rings so small, and so like it just clasps around one of Biters' ankles or something like that.
And he says, and the chief says, "Look, just get out of here." But any problems, anything, that guy is in a lot of trouble. I could already have him arrested now, and assaulting a police officer is very serious.
We won't be in any trouble. Let's go. Saying to Lefaro, let's go. Let's find a butcher so he can get some.
You drag it. Oh, you're unconscious right now. You're out.
He'll just like drag you out by your feet.
He's seen worse.
Yeah.
Biters. The next time you make a roll, deduct 1 from it.
Okay.
This is your harm roll. You took harm, and bad things happen when you take harm. As you are leaving, you do hear there's been a bit of this caused a bit of commotion. Some other officers have come over, one of them saying, "Sir, why didn't you arrest him?" Like there's a bit of trying to, I just want him out of here. He's a dangerous individual, and that's like sort of as you leave, you can hear some of the officers are a bit like, why did you tell me?
Quickly.
So you get back to your car.
Just be hoping that Yufara's field of, like, forgetting after 10 minutes extends out to the three of us as well. Anyway, back to the car. Put Biters unceremoniously in the back seat and go pick up Gracie at the library, I think. And then Eldon Street sounds like the next place to go.
I mean, like we could investigate a few places. We've got a few places.
We have.
I mean, like maybe Yufaro could go to the hiking trail.
That'd be a good one, yeah.
So we'll get you all. So you all meet up in the car. Gracie, do you share your information?
I do, very much so, and I am really keen to go and talk to Ellen Rustig.
I'm sure you all heard, but Ellen Rustig was the journalist editor who covered the murders.
I would like to go to Eldon Street, investigate the house there.
So we've got investigate house. Euphariel, you wanted to go to the hiking trail?
Mm-hmm.
And Biters,
Wherever I'm being driven to, I'm unconscious.
Well, no.
Well, say you wake.
now. You are awake now at this point.
I'll go to the hiking trail.
Well, I suppose where Joe wants to go, that was Randall Jackson's locked room murder, wasn't it?
I mean, Biters could still wake up and choose to get out with someone else, though.
In that case, Gracie will go with Joe then, because that's quite interesting for her as well.
Okay.
Go and find that piqued her interest before.
Okay. So, for our zombie and divine hunters, now West Home is one of those cities where like it's a very sort of modern, prosperous city, but like 2 minutes out of the city, it is getting quite into nature. Nothing too serious, like you're not going to run into a bear or anything, but it is there's a lot of mountains and hills and good walking paths. But there are several well-known hiking trails. Where they're sort of marked, as good places for people to go. But you're going to have to do some investigation to find, or I could say, because it would have been reported in the papers, you could have just been told that in Gracie's research. Probably the simplest thing to do.
That would be helpful.
So obviously it's a hiking trail, so it's not it's not in the same way. I can't give you an address for where this happened,
okay,
but
we might have a specific trail or an area.
Not an area, but like it's probably gonna be about like 20-30 feet on this trail that when you get to it. So I'm assuming you guys are walking, and you do pass a couple of hikers. And they do, and like joggers and that sort, and they do that thing where they take a really wide berth of Biters, like putting themselves in risk of injuring themselves by getting into the off the path too much, but really wide berth. And you get to the area where you think this is the place where it was reported to have happened.
Why is this going?
Oh, sorry. I was just saying, it's obviously it's out in the open air, and it's just a couple of months ago, so there's no, there's no police markings or anything like that.
Maybe look for any. Well, is it possible to look for like maybe some less formal trails that that connect to the place. Like maybe if someone got to the place some way other than the path.
Oh, okay, I get you. I get you. So, were you going to say something as well, Biters?
Yeah, just kind of like what tracks are about.
Okay, if you each make a investigate mystery roll.
With the small chart.
It's sharp, I believe.
Yeah.
And it's that -1.
So is mine.
Yes. No, but his -1 because he just got tasered.
Oh right.
A 7. Yes, 7.
8.
8. Okay. Biters. The problem probably is there's a lot of tracks because a lot of people and probably some animals have been through here. Nothing strikes you as there's no weird devil marks or the sign of a giant snake or anything like that that came through. For Euphiala, you do find there's what look like some very sort of a lot of bushes with a lot of thorns, and you wouldn't want to go through there because you're probably going to get cut up. But something has pushed its way through there and did quite a bit of damage to the bush.
I mean, I probably wouldn't get cut up, but my trench coat would probably be ruined.
Yeah. Are you wanting to climb, to investigate?
Yes.
Okay, so you push your way in, and you're getting your physical body is a bit different to everyone else's, but you feel your scarf gets caught on something and you've got to pull it off, and it's a little awkward. It's not very dignified for it's such a divine being, but you sort of push through, and you eventually, after a few minutes, you get out the other side. Now you have left Biters completely unattended at this point. So
you probably just assumed biters would follow.
yeah, well, I mean, maybe he has, but when you get out of this sort of this dense bush type stuff, you come out, and the thing you can see is a large construction site where it seems like there's some new, and it's quite a major project. There's things being built, new which look like mainly houses, but a big new housing development in the area.
Is there anyone on the site right now?
Oh yeah, it's full of activity.
Should we switch back to biters before Euphial does something else?
Okay, Biters. 1 second, I'm just gonna roll a die. I don't get to do this often once of the week, but yeah, all right. Yeah, Biters. You saw, I'm assuming, your divine friend go off into the bush. What are you going to do?
This would probably follow.
Okay, so you make your way through. Again, a bit awkward, and you're not, of questionable physical presence, so you do get a bit cut up on the thorns, and when you come out, you're scratched a lot, and your casual, ill-fitting clothes are now also torn. You look very dishevelled, at the very least. But you arrive.
Also, normal.
Yeah. And you see this construction site where stuff's going on.
And it looks to be pretty busy.
Yes. There's people carrying planks of wood. Someone swinging a wrecking ball back and forth. I'm not sure why, because they're building stuff here. But it's all happening. Typical construction site stuff.
Byers looks at the wrecking ball and goes, "That looks fun."
I think Ufario might try look for a foreman or an architect or someone who isn't literally carrying something right now.
Okay. You do see there's a couple of people. There's like some tables have been set up with blueprints on, and some people, pointing at various bits and then asking questions. So they seem a bit more senior in the organization here. So are you going to approach them?
Probably, yeah. I don't
Okay.
have a plan, but yeah.
Byers will follow.
This can only go well.
One of them, as you approach, says, "Whoa, this is a hard hat area. You're going to be wearing a
Byers
hard hat."
whacks his head. Head hard.
Well, I think all the damage that's going to be done has been done to him already. But you, pal, you probably need a hard hat.
Where might I obtain one?
And again, everyone else goes, "Ah, man," like sort of rubs the temple. It's like, but someone goes, none of them make any sort of connection between you and that. But they're like, everyone's like, ah. But the work, everyone's like using heavy equipment, so there's a lot of noise. And one of them says, "Well, hey, I have this, but just in the hands of you a hard hat."
Thank you.
Then so why are you here? It's not people can't be wandering around here.
There was a suspicious death not far from this site, and we are looking into it.
Are you seeing where he did it? And there's a lot of like angry
No.
builder types now, like being like, rabble.
Byers makes himself look big at this.
But then one was like, whoa, calm down, everyone. You don't think one of us did it?
I am saying that it is not unlikely that whoever did it passed through this site. It is possible someone might have seen something.
Well, not really seen anything. I mean, there's a lot of people pass through, but like no one covered in blood or,
I mean, like, what? Do we have a date for when the attack happened?
It's 4 months ago.
Okay. I'd like to ask about specifically then.
Okay. Well, we were on site then, yeah. It's doing a lot of work then. It's a big project. I mean, we all remember when it was being reported, but we didn't say anything or hear anything.
What was being worked on?
We're building some new, mainly residential, a few shops, but town's expanding. There's another project on the other side of the city where they're building a stadium, I think. That's a different. I'm not involved in that. At which point there is a very high-pitched scream, like proper terror scream, and everyone sort of spins around because, accidents happen on construction sites, so it's not unusual for someone to have broken a leg or bashed their head on something, but this seems a bit different, and sort of an alarm goes off, and some people start rushing over in the direction of where the person screamed.
I mean, I think I'll go that way
Byers
too.
is going to follow the people.
So big crowd sort of gathers round, and there is a construction worker who, again, you would say looks like they've been attacked by a very wild animal and is dead on the ground.
I thought I would get to use one of my abilities.
I
don't think Leon
Can-
Hans Q's dead.
I was going to say,
No.
can Biter go over and have a look and see if he recognizes any of the markings of the attack?
Yeah, if you want to make an investigate a mystery.
Am I still at the -1?
Just
Or is that-
it's literally for your next roll.
Okay, I'll rub that out. That is a 5.
5. Teeth and claws. Could be a chipmunk. Could be a bear. Could be an ambitious shark.
But yeah,
Like,
Eupharo
definitely a shark. Definitely a shark.
Eupharo looks at the people that that they were talking to, and it is just it's all
Right. This is precisely what we were looking into. Who saw what occurred here?
And there's a bit of chatter, and then someone's pointed out, and there's another builder sort of in the corner, like of a half-made building, just sort of rocking back and forth and shaking a bit. I think Jack was with him.
all right. Let's go to Jack. Unfortunately,
Okay.
I did not take the soothing presence one. I figured it was inappropriate for
Um,
That's why I was thinking, oh, someone's injured. I can heal them. Oh, they're dead.
So Jack's just sort of rocking back and forth, and he's just saying, "It wasn't there. It wasn't there. There's nothing there. There's nothing there."
What wasn't there?
And well, he just collapsed, and there was something slashing at him, but there was nothing there.
Okay, something invisible.
And after the attack,
Well, then I'm here in the corner shaking, like I don't know. It was weird.
Hmm.
And he points at the sort of unfinished half of the building where there's those transparent sheets that they put up, and something has ripped through one of them, big.
All right, let's go take a closer look.
Okay. So you go to the rip, and it's a big rip.
Can I go inside or something? Like,
Well, you'd be sort of going outside, as it were. But you could like go through, as presumably following the way the creature came in or left.
yeah.
Okay. Are you going as
Byers
well,
is going
Byers?
to follow, but he's going to drag the body of the guy behind him.
Well, you're not, because as you do that, about 50 guys with hammers and swords and whatnot, I just go, "Whoa, what are you doing?"
So this is the first time I think this is the first time I've seen Robin in full chaos mode.
Yeah. All right. Someone runs over and like pushes you away as hard as they can, and starts shouting at you. Are you going to go back to the body? Are you going to?
Yeah, Byers is going back to the body.
Okay, right. I'm going to roll for how many people attack you. So,
All right, there's another 10 characters to go. 10 character types you can go through.
yeah, eight, big builder people with, improvised weapons sort of descend on you, and there's a lot of like kicking and punching. Again, I'm going to say you're going to take one harm from this. And also,
probably start fighting back at this point as well.
I imagine you would. But you are also going to drop an item because you took harm. And this is another harm move. What items do you have?
I have a sword.
Is that it?
That's it.
All right, you drop a sword, which everyone's like, okay, this guy did it right. like weird guy trying to take the body away, and he's got a sword.
I suspect I should try help. Just like
Well-
pause, rotate around, just like come back.
As you do this, there are sirens and an ambulance and 2 police cars pull up right into the site, and paramedic people. I know they're not going to do that much use, but they run over and start looking at the body, and 4 police officers come through and they push all the people off biters. Did you want to get a swing in it, anyone, or?
Oh yeah, I'm going to try and bite a few people.
Well, you
Live
can
up to my
bite.
namesake.
You can maybe bite one person if you make a tough roll.
That is 6, 7, 8.
Yeah, you bite someone. How much harm do you do?
I do +1, 4 harm.
Oh, harm.
Oh my! Right now, you have very nearly killed someone. Now, the only reason you haven't killed someone is because if you did, you're about to be gunned down by the police. So instead, you very nearly killed someone who is dropped to the ground, bleeding. Where did you bite them?
Neck.
The neck. So blood spurting out, and it's like pandemonium, and 2 cops just tackle you, and you're on the ground, and they're very much doing like they know how to restrain you. Probably stuff they shouldn't be doing, technically.
Mm.
Right, chokeholds and whatnot that they're not going to do anymore. But I'd be on their side in this one. I'm like, so they're very much got you pinned down, and you sort of look when you do see the police chief is there, so looking down and goes, "Never should have let you go."
I was hungry.
Yeah, you're not you're not helping yourself right now, Robin. Your divine friend could do something at this point.
I don't.
The guy isn't dead.
Oh right, I can. Okay, I can heal
He's
him.
very nearly dead, but
Okay, I can heal him. Okay, I can. Oh yay! I can use one of my better skills. So
Yeah.
I go to use my lay on hands and heal injury.
okay. Does that completely heal it, or
I
Is it
mean,
just-
it depends what I roll.
okay? Make a roll.
I may kill them if this goes badly. That's a 9. So
And then
okay. Okay, on a 7 to 9, you can heal the harm or illness as on 10 plus, which is healing 2 harm plus the stabilized, but you take it into yourself. So I probably take 2 harm.
oh right, okay. But yes, this person is very much improved, and luckily some paramedics did come to in response to the other guy, and they're helping him. But it is pretty much apparent to people that you did something that really helped. No one's quite sure what. But the police chief's now sort of very much like, all right, whose is this sword, by the way? And everyone's like, that guy had a sword, and the police chief's gonna take the sword. They don't have an evidence bag big enough for it, but they'll work something out. and he's going to say, right, get him in cuffs. So Biters, you've been handcuffed behind your back. And this is right. Officer Jennings, put him in the back of my car, which they do, and then sort of go to your divine friend, and they're like, what did you do in all of this?
I attempted to stabilize him.
Indicating the biter's victim now.
Yeah, and one of the paramedics is saying, I don't know what they did, but they did something. And he sort of, okay, you're not under arrest, but I need you to come as well.
Okay. Oh, I was going to investigate another tramp. Oh.
Yep. And so you go into the back of the car. You're not cuffed because they say you're not arrested.
Yeah, good.
Another officer gets in the car with the chief. This is just so I can keep track. This is Chaz Brewer, sort of a very big guy, works out like but looks friendly and nice, but big guy. And they're gonna drive you off to the station. Well done for for that. But we'll cut to Eldon Street.
Oh, thank goodness.
Yeah, that does seem like the end of that scene.
Yes.
So obviously we don't know.
Legal process moves
We know
slowly.
nothing.
There's going to
We-
be
we-
courts.
So knowing nothing about anything that's happened, I say to Gracie, "Do you reckon those two will be all right together? Do you reckon they'll keep out of trouble?"
Yeah, they'll be fine.
Okay, that's good. Well,
Always the obvious stuff.
yeah. Well, we pull up outside Eldon Street, I guess, and house Eldon Street,
Yeah.
murder scene.
So the
Look,
house,
the one with the police tape.
One with the
yep,
police tape.
very
That's the one.
much is the yellow and black tape saying do not cross, which no one ever seems to pay a lick of attention to on television and films. So you definitely can see which house is the one. Sort of semi-detached, quite nice house.
Is there anyone around the house? Like, I assume we're well past the time of police guards and things like that.
Oh yeah, there's no police that
Yeah.
you can
Cool.
see. Certainly no one standing at the door or anything.
Any nosy neighbours obviously apparent?
Make a. Oh, what would that be?
Probably a sharp roll.
Yeah, make a sharp roll.
I did really want to say it's either going to be spot hidden or yeah. Oh, God. 7.
7. There's some people about, but no one seems to be paying too much attention. It is quite quiet. So you reckon no one's paying too much. Certainly there's no one like spying on you, even in a nosy neighbor type way. Station wagon's quite a friendly suburban car.
Can we gain? Is the house locked? Can we enter the house?
I mean, you'd have to try the door.
I would like to try the door.
It is locked.
I would like to try and open the door carefully.
Do you have any?
While Joe's, sorry, I was going to say while Joe's doing that, Gracie's going to try and sneak around the back and see if there's a back door or an obvious open window or anything like that.
Okay.
I mean, I could just shoot the lock, but that might be a bit loud.
It would be. See, this is one of the very reasons when you were discussing which weapon to use, you've picked the loudest gun possible.
Yep.
Yep. Do you have any tools that could help you
I
gain
don't
entry to
have
a
any.
house?
No, I don't have any tools. No. No.
Is this going to be like a force, or is it going to be, more, trying to pick a lock, or?
I will try to pick the lock first. Then, if that fails, I'll try and use force.
Okay, give me 1 second there. Okay. This is be an act under pressure roll. So
Okay.
that's cool.
Okay. I have 0 in cool. That's gonna be good. And I got a 6.
6.
Sadly, that is not my marked stat, so I don't get an XP for that.
What do you use to try and pick the lock with?
Like find a pin that I have and try and pick the lock. Give me the lock.
Yeah. That gets nowhere, and you lose the pin.
Okay.
Not too hard. It's possible, but you've lost it.
The pin just swallowed up by the lock. In which case, how does Gracie feel about trying to open locks? Is that possible?
Well, Gracie's gone around the back.
Oh, okay. So, looking round, is anybody watching?
You make a sharp roll.
That's an 8.
There's like one person that's been like, that guy in the trench coat and hat, and is messing around at the door. But they're a bit just like, they're sort of carrying on, but they've just sort of cast a glance at you.
Okay. It's gonna have to be shoulder to door then, I'm afraid.
It's gonna have to be what, sorry?
Shoulder to door.
Okay. So that'll be kick some ass. That'll be a tough roll.
No, it's 7 for that.
Okay. Was this just like an unarmed attack? Like
Yes.
just with your shoulder?
Yes.
Okay. The door does there's a crack and the door opens, but you do take 1 harm, and you
Okay.
think you've quite, you've hurt your shoulder a bit there.
Okay. Yep.
And
Stop
if you take
doing that.
next time you roll, -1 to your roll.
Next time I roll negative.
Yep. But you have gained access to the house. Now we'll just cut to Gracie. There's a door, there's some windows, but they all seem to be shut, and you imagine locked.
When Joe put his shoulder to the door, would I have heard that? Was it particularly noisy?
I mean, I'd imagine you were trying to be quite quiet. Would that be right, Joe?
As quiet as possible when you're trying to shoulder a door open.
Yeah.
But Gracie is like keeping an ear out for weird things.
Oh, well, make a sharp roll.
7.
7. No.
Yeah.
You don't hear anything.
Okay. Well, before I start breaking into property, is there any weird sort of animal prints in the garden? Anything like that? Any, I don't know, mud on the walls
No.
or?
This would very much be investigate a mystery.
Yeah. So roll her sharp again.
Yep.
7. Apparently that's
7.
all I can roll.
7. Checking around the garden and whatnot. You do find a claw mark on like the picket fence at the back.
Mm-hmm.
And again, big. So like you'd probably say like a bear, but it's hard to imagine a bear clambering over this fence. Very least not the whole thing just collapsing, you know. So something seemingly would have came.
So
You know.
it's dark coloured on a white picket fence.
Sorry?
It's dark coloured on a white picket fence.
Yeah.
Yeah, I try and chase a copy of it.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. You can do that. You got a bit of paper and yeah. I would say while you're doing this, Joe would have come through the house. So if you want to in some way alert Gracie that you're in, you know, if
Yeah.
you turn around, you might see him in through a window. And
No, I
know
think
that he'd
when I enter the house, I'd probably like just like go straight to the back door and try and open the back door.
Okay. You can open it from the inside, and so the door is now open for Gracie.
Okay, Gracie's going to go and join Joe.
Right. I would like to investigate the house,
Okay.
and as I'm going around, I'm just like got my camera out, just like taking pictures of everything that I see. That's
okay. Roll a shop to investigate a mystery.
okay, and I'll take that.
Gracie, you can do this as well.
Yeah.
Because I'm assuming, you know.
Yep.
Oh, 6.
10.
10.
Ah.
Okay. So you are taking pictures, and you have put a flash on your camera,
Mm-hmm.
and as you're going around the room and you're taking pictures of, like, you know, because it is a bit of a wreck in here. It's a bit of a mess.
Yeah.
Like it's signs of a struggle, you know. There is like movement all of a sudden ahead of you, and something very quickly brushes past you. Like, it doesn't hurt, but it was quite a contact. Wasn't your imagination, wasn't a breeze. Something just hit you.
The police, the cops had asked the question, how did the thing get out? So I think the answer to didn't get out. Truth hit me like
Gracie's just like looking at him like.
I would say, Gracie, you can. Whatever this thing is, it is quite big. So like you can't see it, you can't hear it, but its presence is clear. Like things are moving, things are being crushed underfoot, so you can see something is there.
Okay. Are there like individual rooms, or is it all open plan?
Yeah, this is you're in like the living room, and then it goes into a kitchen, and it's all like individual rooms.
I try and trap it in the same room as me, so I'm going around trying to shut doors and.
Yeah, I get you.
I'm going to draw my big noisy gun.
Right, big crazy guns being drawn.
In fact, wait. Does that count? Does that count as observing a monster, minion, or phenomenon in action?
Well, yes, I would say so.
Oh, occult confidential. I can ask a question immediately. What sort of creature is it? I can't tell that, can I? I'll go with that. What sort of creature is it?
No. You can. If that's what your ability says, you can ask that question.
I can ask the question. Yep.
The fact that it's invisible, like that, might be a clue as to what it is. Now, this suppose it wouldn't really have a name as such because I've made it up. But it is essentially a very old cannibal human seems to have mutated and is also invisible. So it's about 8 feet tall, long limbs, big claws, big teeth, and is invisible.
Okay. So
And
yeah.
I will tell you as well, did not respond well to the camera going off.
Okay. Okay. Carry on. Yep. So
Is there any obvious coloured liquid in the room? So thinking like wrong era stories, but like bottles of liquor or something like that, or drinks cabinet, something like
I'm trying
that.
to think.
The only...
I'm trying to think what a person might have in the living room that not even what you've put. Like I think I can guess where you're going here. Like
Yeah.
There is
casually abandoned can of Coke.
yeah, why not? Why not?
Grace goes and picks that and tries to chuck it over where she thinks the invisible, that she doesn't yet know, human cannibal mutation is.
Make a sharp roll because I think it's more like you're trying to perceive it than attack it.
The 13, yay!
13. My
Yes,
God.
6, 5, and 2.
Okay. So yeah, you get this thing dead on, and for a split second, you see 8 foot tall creature. Obviously not any detail because it's invisible, but something with these long limbs and huge claws, and it is now barreling towards you.
Shooting it. Shooting it.
I was gonna say, Joe's got his gun out. Gracie's gonna go for her. Yeah.
Well, in Monster of the Week in combat, there is no initiative order. Obviously, we try and do it. You know, so everyone gets a turn, but we'll say Joe had his gun drawn. So Joe, if you want to make a tough roll and
Tough roll.
add any appropriate things for your weapon.
6. That's 7 on the tough.
Okay.
Weapon does 3 harm.
3 harm. That will hit. Give me 1 second. There is a scream that you hear for a second and then seems to be cut off. And there's also what looks like some sort of like black blood spurts out. But in a sort of instant, the blood is gone, the scream has stopped, even the Coke has vanished, and it's back to being as if it's completely invisible. And there is a almighty crash as something crashes through the window in the front room and back onto the street.
Also.
And again, for a second, there's this like blood you see on the glass, but then it vanishes.
Okay, Grace goes to the window to try and shoot her gun at it. I mean, obviously she's not gonna have know exactly where it is, but she's gonna try.
Make a tough roll, and we'll try and work out best if you get a good enough roll.
I think so.
Sorry, so did you
Yeah,
tell us
6.
that? 6.
Yeah, 6.
6. need to remember I'm on film, so don't lean that close to the camera. You forget after a while. It just like
That's good in a way. You forget if you forget about it. It's
Yeah.
good.
yeah, you miss, but you have fired in the street. What gun do you have?
Mine is a 9mm.
Does it say anything about loud?
Oh, yeah, it's loud.
Yeah, that's loud. All right. So yep, you have survived this encounter with whatever it is. What do you guys want to do now? Bearing in mind, you have fired several shots in a residential area, and something just crashed through the window.
I'm gonna run for the back door.
I'm gonna
Run for the back door.
dive through the window and try and follow it.
So you run to dive through the window. If you if you roll a tough roll, because I'm sort of imagine this is sort of combat,
That's 8 total.
8. Yeah, you make it through and don't manage to cut yourself. Now, when you get out there, you cannot see or hear anything of the creature, but you do see something impact one of the parked cars on the street. So something like invisible is just smashed into the side of it, which you imagine from is it's hurt and it's not its normal graceful self.
Yeah, moving towards that.
Okay. So you move towards it, and then you feel something coming towards you. Like you just get the sense that things changing, things like attacking is heading towards you. Is there anything you want to do to try and avert what you assuming is an attack?
Try and jump out.
I don't have to roll to hurt you, right?
Okay.
There's what's called soft air moves and hard moves, and a soft move is where you say like it lunges at you, and you get a chance to react. Or I can just say I attack you and I'm successful.
Yeah.
But this is like giving you the opportunity to say like,
or
this is what I'm going to do.
If I detect that it's coming towards me, so I detect, I'm basically like, see that it's coming towards, somehow I see that it's coming towards me.
Yeah.
Try and leap out the way.
Leap out the way. Okay. I'll say this is a act under pressure.
Okay.
So that's cool.
Right, I'm going to use one of these other things now. I'd say that's a 7, but I'm going to use a luck to make that a 12.
A 12. Okay, so you may choose to either do what you wanted and something extra, or to do what you wanted to absolute perfection.
I'm going to choose. Just leap out the way. Do a perfect combat roll out the way.
Perfect combo roll. Yep. You dodge whatever it was coming at you. All you know is it didn't hit you, but you don't know where it is.
What's this Gumshoe special thing here for when I use a point of luck? My next regular case will actually be a mystery. Is that something that happens after the game? Or like
yeah. Next case.
Okay.
So we'll just go back to Gracie quickly. So you went out the back door.
Yep. Jumping over fences to try and get away.
So you're just I'm assuming like
Legging it.
trying to evade the probable police presence that's going to come along.
Yeah.
Yep. So, yep. I think you can get over some fences and quite easily. So we're back to Joe. Joe, what you doing?
You say the creature is gone now. I've got no idea where it is.
I mean, it might be in the vicinity, but you have no.
I can't really track it. Yeah.
Yeah.
If I can't track it, I'll like stand up, look around, and then try and regroup with Gracie.
Okay, so Gracie's taken off over fences. I'm imagining that bit in Hot Fuzz when they do that. And
Yeah,
it's like,
absolutely. 100%. I jump on trampolines. I end up in a duck pond. Pick a greenhouse.
Yep. So do you take off in your car, Joe?
Yeah.
And I'll say you very cleverly worked out which went out the back door, and then you're going to try and work out. Now I'm going to roll to see if the police turn up before you leave. Okay. So evens, they're going to turn up. Odd. So as you peel out of there in a station wagon, and just as you sort of round the corner, you do hear sirens, but you think you've got out of the immediate danger. At which point you see Gracie just leap over a fence and then run in front of you in like that Ferris Bueller's Day Off style brake as she runs across the road and just stops right in front of you and then gets in the
I can
car.
go up and get in.
Yeah.
Right, so we've got one group that's being driven off to jail. We've got one group that's in the car. So I should ask this, Jeff, what time are we playing till?
We'll go for it. It's up to you entirely, but if we can go, we can probably manage another 20 minutes if you want to.
Is that okay with everyone?
Yeah.
Yep.
So it's a 15-20 minutes, yeah. Could the people in the back of the police car make this is going to be read a bad situation. So that's a sharp. So you make a sharp roll.
5.
That's an 8.
Okay. Okay, you get to ask me one question. So these are your options. Obviously, I'll apply. But what's my best way in? What's my best way out? Are there any dangers we haven't noticed? What's the biggest threat? What's most vulnerable to me? And what's the best way to protect the victims?
I think the one most relevant to us right now is what's the best way out?
The best way out. I mean, as I'm sure you know, like police cars, very much you can't open from the inside, like in the back. So the best way out would probably be to incapacitate the police officers and take over the car. So you'd have to smash through the safety thing between like the front and the back and attack them.
Okay.
I'm not saying you should do that. What I'm saying is, of your very limited options, I will, because you did roll successfully. I will tell you, having been there, you realise you aren't heading to the police station.
Oh, I mean, like I did find some of the question options.
Yeah, more like because it's generic. So as I said, probably are there any dangers you haven't noticed, or what's the biggest threat? Might have been the more useful ones, but I don't know if you can work out from what I've told you what the danger might be right now. Because you, as I say, you are not heading to the police station.
I think I might try to talk to them. So like, no, it's like.
This is not the direction of the police station. Where is this vehicle heading to?
And then the chief's going to say, "Oh well, we've got other facilities in the town. We're just heading to a lockup. Interview your friend there."
Mm. Is it possible for me to suss out if he's a demon or something?
Do you have any abilities that would perhaps let you do that, or any
I mean,
equipment?
not not explicitly. No
Okay,
explicit.
I will allow you, because you are divine, to use magic. Okay. This is not something you can always do, but roll a weird check.
I think I'm going to use luck. It's like if there's a time to use luck, it's when you roll 6 and under.
So have you got a 12? Is that then from the luck you get a? Is that right? I believe
Yeah,
that's
what. Yeah, mark
Yep.
luck to change roll to
Yep.
12.
Yep. Now, neither of these police officers are demons, but you do get the feeling that they have met some demons, or sorry, a demon in the recent past. At which point the car comes to a halt, and you've not even really went back into town. You're still quite in the sort of nature bit.
Okay.
And the two officers get out of the car.
I give Biters a look. And this is not a be good look.
Is this a be biters look?
If there is a time to be biters, it is now.
So, are we still in the car? Or
You're still in the car, and you
Yeah.
are handcuffed.
I'm going to bite through the handcuffs.
Okay. Make a tough roll, I suppose that it will be.
That is a 8.
You bite into it, and you have done some damage, but you're not. Actually,
With
wait there. Yeah, you're handcuffed behind your back. I don't know how you intend to do this. I
I
would say
thought I
if you
was
want to try.
handcuffed in front.
No, I would say if you want to try and like bite, I don't know, through the lock on the door. I don't know how that would work, but we'll say that's what you're trying to do if you want.
Yeah, I'm going to bite through the lock on the door.
Yeah. So you haven't got through it, but you have done some damage to it.
I was going to say, would my armor kind of thingy add to that at all?
Your armor.
So I can ignore armor to my base skill, which is.
I mean, I don't know if I'd call it. I mean, there's not stats for the door lock. I'm making this up as I go along right now.
Fair
But
enough.
you've certainly done a fair bit damage to the door.
I'm just going to bite it again.
Okay. Your divine friend can help you. That is an action you can take.
Yeah, I can. Yeah. Okay.
Like
I can
literally
do
to
that.
say help out. So you need to roll. You fail if you roll a cool, and again, biters if you roll a tough again.
That's a bit better. That's a 12.
That is a 6.
A 6. Oh well, you were unable to help, but it doesn't matter because that was a hell of a bite, and I don't know what Biter's teeth are made out of, but you've managed to chew your way through a door of a police car that's meant to keep prisoners secure, and you do you want to open the door at the same time? Like,
Yeah, and
Yep.
basically,
Rush
the
out.
nearest one, I'm just going to pounce on.
well, I imagine because you got your hand cuffed behind you, you're a bit awkward right now. So
Yeah.
pouncing might be beyond you, but you do manage to stumble out of the car. Ethereal, are you going as well?
Oh
I mean,
yeah,
I
let's
don't know
go.
why you wouldn't.
Let's
So-
go kick some ass.
So you get out of the car now because you two are sort of stumbling out the car. They're going to have a go. They're going to go first. And the younger officer, the one who looks like they're worked out, is carrying a shotgun and is going to take a shot at Bitey, and that's that's just going to happen because you sort of stumbled out of a car and you're handcuffed, and I think this is the advantage they're getting. So you take 3 harm.
I'm going to use my unquenchable vitality here.
Mhm.
So when you take half, heal yourself. Roll plus cool. On a 10 plus, you heal 2 points of damage and stabilize your injuries. On a 7 to 9, you heal 1. And on a miss, you actually get a miss.
Okay, so you got to roll cool with that.
Yeah.
Yep.
That is that's an 8. So I heal 1 injury.
Okay, so you took
So
3
I-
damage. How many were you already on?
2.
So you're on 5.
Yeah.
Uh,
So I'm on
So you-
4.
You're on 4. Now that's when your injuries
Yeah.
are going to start causing you problems.
Yeah.
Um,
And I'm annoyed at myself for earlier because I forgot to do things that I could do with it as well. But hey ho, that's my
Well-
fault.
Robin, you should be in prison for attacking a police officer. So, okay, I'm just checking the harm moves, and you take -1 ongoing. That means you take -1 for all your rolls until you get
Right.
healed.
Okay.
That's everything.
Yeah.
But you did just get shot with a shotgun at quite close range, so
Yeah.
And then the chief, is they don't have a shotgun; they just have like a 9mm, and they are going to take a shot at your the divine being. Not that they realize you're divine, but they're about to find out maybe.
Hmm.
Again, this just works because sort of you guys are like at disadvantage, obviously. So if you take 2 harm,
Okay.
what level of harm are you on now?
4.
4. Right. Again, you need to get yourself healed, or you will like bleed out eventually.
Don't forget as well, you can use luck to avoid harm.
That is true. Yes.
I don't know how much luck we have though.
You have 2 luck points. Normally, you
Oh.
have.
Okay, so if I run out of luck points, it's something very bad will happen.
No, we're not doing that because I'm doing it differently because I think that's an insane amount of luck for this game. What they give you normally. So I've said instead of that, you're just getting 2 points per session, and there's
Okay.
no
Put it right here.
consequences for
Okay, no
using the book.
consequences. Okay.
So do you want to use your luck for harm, or you wanted to save it?
Sure, let's use it.
Okay. So I think that takes.
It puts me back at 2.
Okay. Right. So, what do you guys want to do? As I said, there's no initiative order, but you're sort of up to you guys. Someone has a plan.
I mean, my plan is to just charge the police chief and yell at him and attack at the same time.
Okay. Are you
Let him
what are you
know what
tackling?
he has done.
Okay. Are you wanting to, in this moment, like drop your glamour so they sort of see you as you are?
Yeah,
Yeah. There's no benefit. I just think it's cool where it's like, oh, we
yeah.
really arrested the wrong guy. So this divine being, bright light, rings and eyes, and was it wings you got as well? Is it?
Yeah, rings, eyes, and wings.
Oh yeah, and they're quite shocked by this, as you can imagine. And yeah, so are you attacking with? You have a whip, don't you? Is that right? Yep. So you need to make a tough roll. Oh, I think we've lost
Can
your
I say
sound.
something? Can I say
Yeah,
something
yeah.
cool?
Oh. Always, you can always say something cool.
Repent, your demonic masters, and you shall have mercy. No repentance, no mercy.
Because that's just cool. I'm gonna say he's clearly still raising his pistol towards you to shoot. So you
Oh,
you
yeah.
get to attack now. Like
Okay, rolling.
so. It's,
Better be a good one after that.
Okay, that's a 7.
a 7. Yes, I believe a 7 will hit them.
7 plus you and whatever you're fighting.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So yeah. So basically,
Heartbreaking 3.
it's like you harm them, but they also get crack at you on a 7. So they will take a shot at you. So you take 2 harm.
Mhm.
They took, was that 3?
Mhm.
So that's a massive hit for them, and they sort of, after they fired, they dropped their gun and sort of dropped to their knees, but they're not dead. As I said, not initial. Oops, sorry.
The way my weapon works, so like it's basically so like one of my rings so like glows and expands and so like and loops out round. It's like and kind of goes through the chief.
Yeah, it's pretty nasty. He's in a bad way. Biters.
Yeah, so Biters is going to leap at the book with the shotgun and just try and chomp down on him.
Okay, yep, make a attack.
I'm going to use a point of luck for that to make that a 12.
Yeah, okay. I think this guy's going to die.
And I'm going to use my 12 to inflict double damage.
Yeah, I don't know, do you want to chew entirely through his neck? Like his head falls off?
Yeah, basically.
Yeah.
And I pick up his body like it's a rag doll and start shaking it in my gob.
Still handcuffed, but you're doing very well with it. Okay. It's the police. I'd say the police chief. I know what they're going to do. They're going to pounce on Biters, or at least they're going to try to. And they seem to like eyes have gone red, and definitely still human, but something's going on that's giving them like a burst of speed and energy, and they dive at Biters to attack. What are either of you going to do about that?
Try and dodge it.
Try and knock them away.
Okay. So yeah, if you each make a well, if Biters you make act under pressure, so that's cool.
Oh, that is an 11.
11. And if you want to make an attack roll, Ethereal.
Mhm. That's a 9.
A 9. Yeah, you like barge into them, knock them down. They're pretty much out of this. Now, it's up to you. You can say in that clash that you killed them, or if you want to, talk to them. Well, I say talk, but like interrogate.
Oh,
You can do. So you knock into them, and they're sort of disarmed completely now. The other guy is 100% dead. So I said, do you want
Biter's just
to
eating this bloke. That's dead.
Eupharios definitely intends to question
Yes.
the chief.
So what I'll say is, Byers gets unhandcuffed because they'll have the keys, and we'll do the questioning next session, I think.
Mhm.
And we'll have to get you guys together again after a very eventful
Awesome.
Do we have some
session.
means of getting in touch? Do we have?
I
Follow
don't believe so.
Just follow the carnage.
You might have a beeper or something. I don't know
Yeah.
what's a mid-90s technology that you might have.
So I'll just drive along.
Trick of a mobile phone.
I'll just drive along and follow the carnage. Thank you very much.
I'm
Richard.
sure we can get you back together.
Yeah,
But I hope you all enjoyed that.
that was really great. Yeah.
I had immense fun. I don't know why you sent off Biters and the Divine One together, who seem to have like the worst social skills.
Yeah,
But
but-
it was to investigate,
Yeah, but they're probably the best equipped to handle the situation they found themselves that Bite has got them in.
True.
Gracie would have run away 100%.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Mm.
she had nothing to contribute.
You can talk to the journalist next time,
Yeah.
and you're gonna have to tell me the ongoing effect or consequence of being at Fort Harm.
Yes. But I think we'll probably say is that at the very least, because you guys have sort of won that bit, we might be able to knock that down at least one, so you're hurt but stable. Because I think that seems, you can have a breather,
Are we okay to do that now, or?
Yeah, I'm fine. So put yourselves onto 3. You're having a snack, Biters. You're eating.
John has just destroyed my overlay. I'm going to switch to the credit screen. John, you broke it. Okay, John, you are good to go.
And I'm here to say thank you guys so much for watching. If you haven't done so already, please do hit the follow button. It's a great way for you guys to know when we go live. A completely free way that you can support us on the channel. Another way that you can support us on the channel right now, it is September again. Which means the fairy mod mother, which writes this stuff, has oiled up their roller skates and is ready to do their best. That means if you subscribe to a channel this month, if you do a 1-month sub, you get 20% off. If you do a 3-month sub, you get 25% off. If you do a 6-month sub, you get 30% off your sub. That also includes if you upgrade from Prime subs or gift subs, or if you decide to change to a multi-month subscription, or if you level up your support from tier 1 to 2 or 3. And the best part is the streamers that you subscribe to will still get the full amount of that sub. So sub now, fast, quickly.
Sounds like a great deal.
This September is sponsored by Lenovo Legion, the world's leading gaming PC brand, crafting laptops, towers, accessories, and other stuff. Go look at the stuff. It will apparently dazzle your friends and devastate your foes.
We don't get any money for saying that, do we?
No.
Oh.
But we do if people subscribe. You have until September the 30th at 11:59 PT to sub with those discounts. And coming up, we have the following streams. On Thursday this week, the Angel Games player is playing a thing. It'll be a game. Probably. It might be Genshin. It might be hunting a killer. It might be Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic. Tune in to find out. On Friday, Jeff is in the DM's chair with more Horror on the Orient Express. Jeff.
Yes, and I've got most of the plays of it here. So yeah, on Friday the investigators finally arrive in Paris after having read the 1893 diary. How much they believe of that, or how much they accept is true, is up to them. But now they begin the first phase of their hunt for the Sedefkar simulacrum. What could possibly go wrong?
10 times fast.
What could possibly
On
go wrong?
Sunday, on Sunday, I'll be back with Waterdeep Dungeon of the Mad Mage as the group continues to make their way through the. Well, they've now made their way down to the 3rd level of the dungeon, but between lots of empty caverns that are definitely only empty and one that is filled with very big spider webs, they've got a few choices to make
I think
about how
the one
they
with
can
the one with the spider web seems the least suspicious out of all that.
On Monday, we'll be back with more Minecraft Mondays as Chris and I work our way through Create. We missed a week this week because I was on a train and or passing through central London, depending on when during the stream you were questioning. But we'll be back next week as we continue to work on, well, trains, as a matter of fact. We need to do more things with lasers and trains.
Very train-centric week this week.
A little bit.
I
And
like
then...
trains.
No! And then next week, this chaos will be back for more of this chaos.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
So tune in for all of that and more. But now, Jeff, who's live? Should we do a raid over to Delhi?
I was thinking Delhi. Delhi is playing Cult of the Lamb, so more cosmic horror, demonic nastiness. So let's give him a raid. Thank you guys very much for watching. I had great fun with this. I hope after we've done this series, I'd probably like to come back to this as well because this seems really good.
Yeah, really good fun.
Thank you very much for running, Richard.
Yeah, thank you, Richard.
See you guys next time. Bye. Raid is away.
So we're out.
We are out.